So the very first day of the DNC of 2024 is in the books, and there's quite a bit to discuss. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the very first day of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, Illinois. The convention goes from Monday, the 19th, which was yesterday, up until Thursday, the 22nd. There were quite a few speakers. During this one, you had Hillary Clinton, AOC, Jim Clyburn, all these people. Of course, Biden came out there and spoke, which we'll get to in a minute. Ashley Biden with the diary, the wife, the caretaker, the home health nurse, Jill, she came out there. Jasmine Crockett. It was a star-studded event. But at certain points, I was ready to get a big pillow and take a nap. Shout out to you guys who were there during the stream. I really, really appreciate y'all for joining, because without you, there is no me. And I know for sure without y'all in the chat, I couldn't have done the show at all. I could not have done it. So thank y'all for making it be what it was. Now, we got quite a few clips to get into. There were some crazy moments and some snooze-worthy moments. But first things first, let's just talk about what was happening on the outside, because, you know, the Democrats, they say that the borders are racist, the borders are immoral, the borders shouldn't be there. That's what they say. But then when it comes to their own conventions, look at this big gate, look at this big border, and look at how tightly it's secured. If we could only get that on the southern border, I'm going to just let it play with the sound off, because we'll need all the extra stuff going on. But look, you got the so-called protesters or whatever trying to take gates down, trying to get through the police barrier. Let's hear a little bit of sound to hear what they're doing. So you can kind of see what's going on here. You got a lot of protesters outside, a lot of Palestine people, Israel, whatever. They were out there in full force, but so were the actual police. Let's keep on going. Now, this is a gender neutral prayer room, okay, at the DNC. And there's Islamic mats in there. All right. Now, I've never seen any Muslim guy go into a closet and do his prayer. They're going to do that right where they at, right in the middle of the street, whatever. I mean, I've never seen anybody do something like this. Maybe they might do it in their hotel room if they're in the hotel, but just, okay, I'm at the DNC and I got to go to this particular place and do that. I've never seen that. Now, this is, I'm going to turn the sound off for this one. This is Doug Emhoff. That's Kamala's husband, and that's his daughter, Ella. And by the way, Ella is a model, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Ella Emhoff is a model. Now, of course, Kamala does not have any children, so Ella Emhoff is Kamala's stepdaughter. All right, that is her stepdaughter. And Doug, I think Doug may have come out there and, man, look, they had every speaker. They had every Tom, Dick, and Harry, quite literally, out there speaking. It might have been 1,000 speakers just on Monday night alone. It was crazy. I didn't really understand that whole, the blitz of all these speakers. Now, this particular segment, they say they were speaking to just regular, everyday, average Joes, is what they were saying. All right. So let's hear from a quote unquote former MAGA why he's left the MAGAs and why he's now part of Kamala's hive. Check it out. Don't know why, but I feel like the music is killing me.
I am a lifelong Republican, a former Trump voter, and I will not be voting for Trump in 2024.
My name is Norma. I'm from Carson, Washington, and I am a two-time Trump voter. I will not be voting for Trump this time around.
I'm actually embarrassed to say that I did vote for Trump in 2016.
Donald Trump has nothing but contempt for the American people, and ironically, for those who claim to be his base. He's only interested in benefiting himself personally.
Everything he said he would do, he did not do.
Let's pause. Now, look, you may not necessarily like what Trump has been doing. You may not be a big Trump supporter anymore. But why would you go from Trump to Kamala? That's a pretty big leap. Okay, if I don't like pork sausage, and all of a sudden one day I'm eating a whole ham sandwich, it's like, how did we get from point A to point B? It doesn't make any sense, but let's keep on going.
I do not trust that he can do the right thing anymore.
We've seen what Donald Trump really is, and it disgusts me to my core.
I don't think the man can be trusted. He talks out of both sides of his mouth. He's a very dishonest person. I hate the way he disrespects women.
Voting against Trump and for Kamala Harris is the right thing to do.
All right, so there you have it, straight from the proverbial horse's mouth. Now, this moment right here, okay, so let me just explain what's going on. And I beg, please don't judge me. I'm not a horrible person. I am a good person. Please don't judge, I beg. But this moment right here, they brought a man out who had ALS. I think, I forget who had that. It was a celebrity that had that. It might have been Christopher Reeve, or it might have been Stephen Hawking. And you know, Stephen Hawking, he come out there with the wheelchair and he had his little device that he could speak with, but he couldn't move. So I think my man has the same illness. Now, I was cracking up laughing at this moment, and I was trying not to. I was trying to just pull from the heavens above to not laugh, because I don't want to make fun of someone's illness or disability. But it wasn't even about that. It was about what they did on stage. Let's just watch, please.
In 2008, we met while working on the Obama-Biden campaign.
Now, okay, what she apparently was doing was translating what he was saying. And they did that about 4 or 5 times throughout the thing. That right there, it tore me up, because I'm like, there's no way you're translating that. It's no way you're translating what he's saying, because you heard the way he was kind of just murmuring. He was murmuring the exact same way and the exact same cadence for the exact same length of time about 4 or 5 times. And each time she translated it and was saying something different. I'm like, man, nah, this can't be no translation. This is just really crazy. They're taking advantage of people. And they did this quite a bit during the DNC. They brought out Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson got to be 1,000 years old. He's in the wheelchair. He don't know what's going on. They brought him out there on stage. He didn't say a word. All he did was just barely wave at the crowd and go right back behind the stage. That was it. And of course, Joe, he's old. Dick Durbin sound just as old as Joe Biden. Maxine Waters came out there at the spry old age of 1,074. Now, she didn't sound too bad. Actually, she sounded better than a lot of people that were on the stage, although her message was not very good. Now, I think this segment is when they brought out some of Kamala's childhood friends. They talk about how she grew up in one neighborhood, I guess, in California, although she lived pretty much everywhere all over the country and in Canada, including the formative years of her life in Canada. But let's hear from her.
You're lucky enough to be her friend. She calls you on her birthday, and sometimes she sings to you.
Are we buying that? Do we think that Kamala will sing to you on her birthday?
Here.
Now, this woman right here is Minnesota Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. All right, Peggy Flanagan. Now, she kind of was an impromptu host, MC, along with the guy from Scandal. I've never seen Scandal before, but the white guy, and then, was it Kerry Washington? Is that the love interest? I don't know. But he was like the host as well. It was weird. But let's hear from Miss Flanagan.
Your life. My name in the Ojibwe language is Gigi Wewadam Ukwe, or in English, speaks with a clear and loud voice woman. I'm a member of the White Earth Nation, and my family is the Wolf Clan.
Peggy Flanagan, you straight from Ireland, just like your friend Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren. You are two white ladies. Why are we trying to claim Native American ancestry? What is the deal? Just be who you are, okay? I'm black, you white, that's fine. Why we gotta try to be other stuff? Anyway, that was that. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here.
Donald Trump would be able to weaponize the Department of Justice to go after his political opponents. He could even turn the FBI into his own personal police force.
Now, I don't know what's going on with her and this whole tongue action. Like what is all that about? What are we doing? Okay, but you got some nerve, because we see what's happening right now with Trump and the lawfare thing that he's going through. If he could be so powerful to just claim immunity for himself and not get prosecuted, then why is he being prosecuted? Why is he always in court? It doesn't make any sense. You guys are weaponizing the DOJ against Trump and the other way around, but that's called projection. When you're doing one thing, but you want to say that the other side is doing it. Now, here's Ashley.
I would like to
Here's Ashley Biden, the daughter.
introduce my father, your 46th president of the United States, Joe Biden.
All right, we got music. I'll turn the music down. Okay, so go out. And then they were hugging for an extended period of time. Her speech, I guess, made him start crying. That's what they want to put out there. He had some tissues and stuff like that dotting his eyes. And the sound is off because they got music in the background. I'm not trying to get a copyright. All right. So there he is with the tissue. There's Tim Walz, the VP pick for Kamala. All right. And there we have it. So I think that's when Joe came out. All right. Tears, tears, tears. And of course, we got the thing going on with the diary. We know what happened with the diary. I can leave it right here. You can read it. You can pause it if you've not seen it before. That didn't get addressed at all, but that should have been addressed. There were quite a few things that should have been addressed during this particular thing that were not. And here's Jill, the caretaker, wife, home health nurse, whatever.
Weeks ago, when I saw him dig deep into his soul and decide to no longer seek re-election and endorse Kamala Harris. So
that's going to be something that's an applause line. It's an applause line to just rebuke the will of the people and just appoint Kamala to be the nominee. Now, here's Mr. Hairplugs Raskin. Jamie Raskin had cancer, and he was wearing this bandana type outfit for a while in the Senate floor, wherever he's at. And I think that was just a ruse to cover up his hair transplants.
Someone should have told Donald Trump that the president's job under Article 2 of the Constitution
The teleprompter conked out.
Someone should have told Donald Trump.
Oh, man, the teleprompters, man, not very reliable. AOC came out to speak, and I think they're going to try to position AOC to run for president in the near future.
And I, for one, am tired of hearing about how a two-bit union buster thinks of himself as more of a patriot than the woman who fights every single day to lift working people out from under the boots that breathe, trampling on our way of life.
So cringe. So cringe. Like, I'm not really sure where she got her lessons from. Maybe she's been talking to Raphael Warnock, the pastor, the crooked, the jet-led preacher who also spoke at the event. Maybe she is getting her cues from him. I don't really know what's going on. But speaking about jet-led, bootleg, here is, what's her name? This is Crockett from Texas. Jasmine Crockett from Texas.
Was born with a silver spoon in his mouth and helped his daddy in the family business. Housing discrimination, that is. She became a career prosecutor while he became a career criminal. With 34 felonies, 2 impeachments, and 1 porn star to prove it. Was born.
I mean, the slut shaming was crazy because Stormy Daniels, and then what they say on the left, sex work is work. But then when it comes to this, and I'm sorry for the freeze frame, but it is what it is. But when it comes to this, all of a sudden that's not really what's going on. You can shame them when it comes to this, but any other time, if you say something like that, then you are a sexist and a racist and everything else up under the sun. All right. But we know how the Democrats are. Now, of course, Hillary came out
With faith in each other and joy in our hearts, let's send Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to the White House.
And the speech was typical Hillary, 2008, 2016, the same stuff that did not get her to White House both of those times. And here comes the big guy, Joe.
Women are not without electoral. Women.
All righty, so stumbling and bumbling, lost the word completely. That's not what stutterers do, because I'm a stutterer as well. What he was doing was forgetting where he was going, lost the train of thought. That's what happened. Now, I will say that he sounded better in this speech than he has in previous speeches, but that's not saying much. I mean, when the bar for your previous speeches is, hey, don't fall on the floor again, have your feet up in the air and the bottom of your shoes visible to the public, if that's the bar, then it wasn't a very high bar to clear. Okay, let's keep on rocking here.
They're the ones we're going to bring back.
This particular yelling and scowling, he did that quite a bit during the speech. That might be when he's at his best, but he gets to like yell at you. He does pretty well at that time. Let's keep on going.
When Donald Trump left office, and unlike Trump, we will not demonize immigrants, saying they're the poison of blood of America, poison the blood of our country. Kamala and I are committed to strengthening legal immigration.
You're committed to strengthening illegal immigration. Is that what I heard? Did you say that right? Or was that another one of your mess ups, another one of your mishaps? All right. Like, what's really going on? Kamala and I are committed to strengthening illegal immigration. And I think this might be one of the last ones. Yeah, this one was about the big lie, the whole January 6th, good people, not January 6th, pardon me, Charlottesville, 2017, the good people on both sides. This was in reference to that. Check it out.
When the president was asked what he thought had happened, Donald Trump said, and I quote, "There are very fine people on both sides. My God." That's what he said. That is what he said and what he meant. That's when I realized, had listened to the admonition of my dead son, I could not stay in the sidelines. So I ran.
Now, of course, this was proven to be false. Even Snopes, which is a very far left website, they said that what Joe is saying is false. To address that right quick before we keep on going. In Charlottesville, back then, where Heather Heyer had died, there was a protest over a statue. I believe it was of Robert E. Lee or Thomas Jefferson, whatever it was. It was a quote-unquote Confederate statue. So there were some people who were there to support the statue staying, and then there were some who said that it should go. Now, there were good people on both sides of that discussion, but he wasn't saying the sides are the Nazis and the not Nazis, because that's not what was going on. It was a protest over the statue, and you had normies who were not involved in any kind of extremism on both sides of the argument. And you had extremists as well. Trump was not speaking about the extremists being good people. Let's continue.
And now it's the law of the land. Instead of paying $400 a month for insulin, seniors with diabetes will pay $35 a month.
All right, so that pretty much summed up Joe Biden's speech. The event went from, I think, what was that? About 6:30 Eastern to almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I was up. I was up. I was streaming for about 6 hours last night. Shout out to you guys again who were there. I really appreciate y'all. I may stream again tonight on Tuesday. But as I close, I want to say this. The DNC day one, it was very difficult to get through. A lot of propaganda, a lot of lies, way too many speakers just bombarding, a lot of music that was like super old. I wasn't really a fan. I mean, even if I was a leftist, I think that this convention wouldn't have really been good. I don't see how anybody can get anything of value. They didn't really touch on policy. They They didn't really touch on anything that matters. Their whole thing was, okay, let's just throw speakers at the people. Let's just have applause moments and things of this nature rather than substantive policy act and action. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on the first day of the DNC or the DNC in general? All the speakers, AOC, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and all the rest of them. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This was pretty bad, pretty cringe. A lot of moments where I'm like, what would he be doing? Especially the ALS guy. That I've never seen anything like that in my life up until right now. That was really crazy. Hopefully they don't do anything like that anymore. I don't really want to see nothing like that. They need to just leave the elderly and disabled alone rather than trying to exploit them. And they need to stop trying to exploit the American people by taxing us to death, drowning us with illegal aliens and their labor and all their different cultural situations. I say just leave us alone, get out of the way, and let prosperity reign. Let the wealth flourish. That'd be my suggestion to the Democrats, but I don't think they're going to listen. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.